Shit made.
Hey,
Hey man, so why the fuck we here right now, man?
hey, man. You know, we got to thinking and talking quite a bit. Since we got out of the Navy and the military in general. We always talk about all these stories and stuff we've had. A lot of them good, a lot of them bad. Some of them are bad. Um, but they're stories, of our life and our experiences and stuff like that. And I think we're both submarine guys, you and I. And so we have that certain culture in our blood, and we have. I know I have stories to tell, and I know you have stories to tell, and I think that like there's a lot of people who have been in the military, who are just like us. They tell these stories and stuff, and they have a good time, but they don't have like an actual platform that they can relate to. Like, fuck, these guys know what the fuck we're talking about. And then
Yeah,
on the other end of the spectrum, there's civilians that just really want to hear what we're all about, and they want to hear our stories and stuff like that. So uh you know I, I'm really excited to start this, man, like, because you and I in the past have talked and stuff, and we've told stories. We served together back in South Carolina, but we're both submarine guys. We're on different submarines, so we have different stories and stuff. But they're always pretty similar. We can
yeah,
always relate to them, and we're always having a good time with it, man. And I don't know if it was you that approached me with this idea or if I approached you, but we just got to this idea that the world needs to hear about these stories, man. It's not just you and I, dude. Like, there's literally thousands of people that are just like us that just want to have their stories told, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
yeah,
So um, I think it's a good thing, bro. I think it's a really good thing.
yeah. And I definitely understand exactly what you're saying, man. Because I wish I would have had like a platform like this to look at before I joined, so I can get like the actual ins and out of what I would have been signing up for. And then like you said, that's good, that's bad, that's ugly, and I want to be able to share all the good, bad, and ugly with people, and then especially like you said, the newer people that want to join, and then the past veterans and everything. So, uh, yeah, I'm excited, and I'm just excited.
Yeah, bro. So it for me personally, right? We'll start from the beginning. Um, Pre boot camp era. This was back in '07. I was 17 years old in '07, and well, for half of the year, anyways. And I was about to graduate high school, and I didn't want to go back to school, bro. I just did not want to do it. I was tired of school. I was like, why the fuck would you want to go to college? It's more school. I want to be an adult, right? This is me being 17 thinking about this stuff. So um, what really kind of drove me to the military, well, a lot of guys our age, was 9/11. 9/11 happened and everything, and I was in seventh or eighth grade when that happened and stuff. And I just wanted to do things. I just wanted to fucking be somebody important. So come fucking 17 years old, and I'm like, well, I don't want to go back to college. I'll go fucking be a Marine or some bullshit, right?
Right.
So, or somewhere in the army or something. So, lo and behold, I go to the recruiter's office, go to join the Marines and stuff, and Marines aren't in there. The fucking usual story, bro. You hear these stories, but the usual story, the Marines are not there, bro. Like, they're out fucking getting pussy or something. I don't know what the fuck they were doing, eating crayons. So, they're out doing their thing, and they weren't there. So like, all right, fuck, I'll go home then. So the Navy guys are right next door, and they're like, "Hey, no, come on over here. Let's talk to you real quick, man. You want to be a Marine? They kind of sweet talked me into it. Got me to sit down and stuff, and the usual thing. The recruiters are real sly like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And me being 17 years old, I didn't know any fucking better. So they're talking to me and stuff, and like, well, what do you want to do? All kinds of stuff. And I was just like, I want to fucking hold a rifle and all kinds of stuff. And I just want to serve.
Yeah.
And so like, yeah, well, uh, you don't got to do that in the Marines, man. You can do that in the Navy. You know, I'm like, fucking Navy does shit like that. Like, yeah, you know, for the most part, you know, you got your SEALs and stuff, your gunners, man. So you can hold gunners. I'm like, well, sounds kind of cool. It's like, well, first things first, you know, let's have you take the test, see where you kind of place and stuff like that, and where we can put you. I'm like, all right, cool. So, you know, a couple days, a couple weeks later, I take the ASVAB, which is, for people who don't know, it's basically like just a placement test to see how much knowledge you know and stuff like that. It's kind of, it's honestly bullshit. Um, but I scored somewhere in the high 60s. It was like 69 or something, which was, it's average.
Yeah.
And so, you know, they gave me this list of occupations I could do in the Navy and stuff. And, you know, I got to the one that's like yeoman. I'm like, what the fuck does a yeoman do? You know, like, oh, you're going to be an executive assistant, dog. Like, I'm like, what? Like, bro, like, I'm going to be an executive. Like, I'm going to be telling people what to do and running shit. Like, hell yeah, you are.
Right.
Yeah, it wasn't like that at all, bro. So, so yeah, they told me that shit and I kind of got hooked to it. And they're like, you know, with your score and everything, you know, you could go to a ship, but bro, I'll tell you what, submarines is where it's at. I'm like, submarines? Like, they're like, yeah, man. I'm like, that shit like on the movies, you know, back in, you know, Red October and shit, like they're fucking going all deep in the water and shit, and leaks and stuff are coming in the whole, hell yeah. I'm like, oh fuck, man, that's kind of dangerous. Like, yeah, like James Bond. I'm like, as soon as they said James Bond, bro, like, yeah, I want to do it. I want to be like James Bond. You're like, fuck yeah, you get a secret clearance, you get all this other kinds of money and all kinds of shit.
Right.
I'm like, oh my god, dude, sign me up, bro. Sign me up.
Man, so similar story like that, man. So I didn't really have aspirations to go into the military, right? Like, didn't care for it. You know, my grandfather was in it, my uncle's in there, my dad was in there, and then surprisingly, they were all Navy too, man. So I didn't care at all to be in the military, man. So my dad used to he gave me and my brothers one rule. Hey, if you graduate, you got two choices. You got the military, or you can go to a college. I'm going to college. So I went to I rode to University of Texas, man. There were some friends that was already out there. I used to go out there every weekend, sometimes during the week, and we just fucking partied. I'm talking about crazy ass wild college parties. And I'm like, man, school ain't gonna be shit for me because this right here is like this is the first taste of college before the schooling part hits, and I fucking hated school, man. So like, you know what? This is gonna be it. Like, I'm going to the military, man. So I wanted to go to Air Force because I've heard the Air Force is like the cakest you can ever be in for military wise. Going to the fucking Air Force recruiter, they turned me down because I had tattoos. I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna try the Army. And I was like, I don't really feel like getting shot in my ass, man. So, so I was working at this fucking rinky-dink ass bank inside of a grocery store. And I remember, you know, I was walking down the aisle, so I was supposed to be like selling accounts to people. And this fucking, you know, suave looking dude, whatever, tapped me on my shoulder. Say, hey man, you enjoy your job? And I'm thinking this is like some undercover boss shit. Oh yeah, you know, I love it, man. Like, you know, I love waking up and doing this every single day. He's like, stop bullshit. You know you don't like this job, man. Like, no, I fucking hate this shit, man. I fucking hate this shit. So he's like, hey, well, why don't you take my card and just, you know, come to my office sometime and let me holler at you. Like, whatever. Look at his card. He's a fucking Navy recruiter. So I'm like, well, I guess I'm going to the fucking Navy, man. So I go. I met him. I want to say it was like a Monday. So I'll go in Wednesday. I take my fucking test, practice test. You know, I'll play somewhere around like 60, whatever. He's like, I mean, hey, you feel like going to MEPS tonight? All right. So like, I remember going and taking my ASVAB that night, and then going through the whole procedurals with MEPS. And I don't know how long it took for you to get like shipped out from boot camp, from you know your station to boot camp, but I remember doing everything like in August, and then I didn't ship out until like March of 2009.
Yeah, man. So like, for me personally, I talked to the recruiter, started signing paperwork and stuff like that, and you know, I did that for a couple months. It was during the summer of '07 for a couple months, and you know, you do the usual fucking march around. You meet somewhere, you march around, you fucking do drills, whatever the fuck depth is all about, you know. And yeah, come August of '07, man, that's when I went to boot camp, and I was getting some type of way, bro. I was just like coming up on it. I was like, man, do I really want to fucking, do this shit? I had this girl I was really into, and being 17 and all, and I had this girl I was really into and stuff like that, and um, everyone was just enjoying being an adult, 17, 18 years old, graduated high school, the world is yours, right? And I was like, fuck, I kind of still want to stay behind and party a little bit and stuff. And I was kind of getting cold feet about it. And then I guess the recruiters kind of just like, they had a sixth sense about it. So they ended up calling me up and kind of reassuring me about things. And they got me back into it. So I was like, all right, fine, fuck it. I'll go again.
Right.
So come August, mid-August, um, yeah, they ended up sending me to boot camp, bro. Like before that, I went to MEPS, like you said, and MEPS was probably the fucking most awkward situation ever at that time. Anyways, I'm like some 17-year-old kid, and you got a grown man watching your dick as you piss, or you have a grown man watching your asshole as you spread your cheeks because he's looking for certain diseases. Bro, it was the fucking worst thing ever, bro. I was like, why are you looking at my fucking dick and my asshole? It felt really fucking weird.
Yeah.
But that shit that happened, and it happens. So, you end up doing that shit, and then you get your date to when you're going to boot camp.
Yeah. And I definitely got to piggyback on the map situation, man, because I felt like, that was just the most weirdest day. Because you start early as hell in the morning. I think you start like around 3 or 4 o'clock. I wasn't sure what time you started, but I know we started about like 4 o'clock. And they tell you the night before you can't eat around a certain time, you can't drink around a certain time because you're taking all your vitals and everything like that. And for people that don't know what MEPS is pretty much just the biggest physical that you're gonna ever take in your life. You could have played sports, you could have had like your normal sports physicals. It's nothing compared to this because you go over like hearing tests, all that stuff. You say you got a old ass doctor make you bend over, spread your butt cheeks, and cough. Just make sure everything is fine. Then we had to do this dumbass like duck walk to make sure your balance and everything was fine. And they checked, everything from head to toe, every scar that you had in your body. Like, how did you get this scar? Oh, I was just rollerblading and I fell. Oh, well, did you go to the doctor for it? No. Okay, cool. Like anything. And then a lot of things that people tell you too about MEPS. Like if you got any kind of anything wrong with you medically, don't tell them. If you really want to go into the military, because they don't check your past records. So like you were saying, man, it was for me, it was just a waiting game, like going through that whole fake boot camp introduction to it and waiting on my damn shipping date the whole time. So yeah, like I was just so ready. I was just so pumped to go. I was preparing myself, watching like videos, movies. Like I had this image that I was about to be like one of the elite motherfuckers in the world, like the 1%, man. That 1%. Oh, I was about to be that dude, man.
Yeah, man. I know the feeling, bro. Like, it got to the point, bro. It's just like, because this is like, this is '07, and we're very much still in the war and stuff like that and everything, and everyone's very patriotic and shit. So, I was feeling it. I was feeling the rush. And so yeah, I was into it, man. And then when MEPS happened, they cleared me from MEPS. Like you said, it was the most intrusive and long physical like anyone's ever had, bro. Like you have people giving you shots, taking your blood, looking at your dick, looking at your ass, like checking your fucking vitals, bro. It was just the fucking like you were into it, bro. It was fucking really weird. And it's hard to get used to that stuff. And so yeah, come the time when I was supposed to ship to boot camp, bro. Like I was flying out of Miami to Chicago to Chi-Town, and yeah, it was mid-August. I don't remember the exact date. I think it was maybe August 16th, August 10th, somewhere around there. It was mid-August,
Yeah.
and I was flying to Chicago, and that was that, bro. Like you get off the plane, and there's probably like 10 or 12 other recruits with you, and some fucking recruiter, or not a recruiter, some instructor, RDC is what they call them in boot camp.
Mm.
Basically a drill instructor for people who don't know what it is, but they'd come up and they'd have you sit down on the cold ass cement, and they do it like a little roll call and basically shout you down. And dude, at that point, like I'm 17 years old at that point, I was like, what the fuck did I do to myself? Like, what the fuck? I got buddies back home like drinking and having a good time, fucking
Yeah.
women and stuff, and having a good old time and stuff. And here I am sitting on a cold ass cement floor going to boot camp. Like, I must be a fucking moron, right? Like, like what the fuck, bro?
Man, I remember that. I remember that experience too, man. It was like March. It was like March 9th when I shipped out, and I'm going to Chicago, so it's March. So I'm from Texas, man. So in March, man, it's like 80 degrees, bro. So I had on, maybe shorts, a cut off sleeve T-shirt, and then it was like, man, we get cold to Chicago. I'm like, it's Chicago, whatever. I didn't understand how cold Chicago fucking got. So I'm used to Texas winter, so I just brought a sweater with me, man. They had us sitting on the floor, like you said, and then I remember we were sitting in front of the fucking automatic doors, and the little instructor, whatever, was an asshole and would like swipe his hand, and the fucking doors just open shut, and then it was still snowing in Chicago, man. So like that cold wind would come in, I was like, this had to been like at that moment, I was like, yo, this had to be the dumbest shit I've ever done. But
Yeah.
it didn't even get like it got worse, man. Because like you said, it was sitting there roll call and like you couldn't talk, you couldn't raise your hand, like you had to like ask permission to go to the bathroom and shit. And I was like, this is fucking dumb, man. Like, and one thing I had to ask you, man, like, so how was that? How was that bus ride going to basic, man?
Bro, I'll tell you, man. So, getting off that plane, sitting on that cold ass cement. Luckily for me, I got there in August, so it wasn't really too cold
Mm-hmm.
there. So I missed the fucking Chicago winter. Thank God, because I heard stories about that shit.
Man,
But yeah, I got off the bus, or sorry, I got off the plane. Sat down. We had the RDCs yelling at us, already kind of indoctrinating us, telling us we're pieces of shit, stuff like that.
yeah,
Um, yeah, it's common. They're just kind of molding people. And yeah, finally the bus comes and you sit your ass on the bus, and they start driving you to recruit training command in Great Lakes, Chicago. And you're really sitting there like bewildered, to be honest. Like, what did I do? What did I get myself into? Is it too late to back out? All kinds of stuff is just going through your mind, at least for me, you know. And you roll up into the command and they tell you get the fuck off the bus, you know, line up here. We'll tell you what to do after that kind of thing, and you're just like kind of in the automatic mode after that.
yeah,
And those first couple of days to a week that you're in boot camp, man, they call them P days. I'm sure you remember P days, bro.
yeah,
And it's I don't know exactly what the fuck it stands for. Maybe pajamas, because we're in fucking blue sweats for like a week, you
yeah,
know. So you get off the bus, man, and they roll you into one building, and they basically do the same thing that MEPS did. They're taking your name. You still got to piss in a cup when you get there, kind of thing. Which
yeah,
for me was really awkward, bro. I never got used to people watching me piss in a cup when they're like right over my shoulder. Like, I don't like a dude's face being right next to my fucking face, looking at my dick. Like, hey, how
yeah,
you doing there, pal? Like it never fucking went right for me.
yeah,
So you had people doing that, and then you had to sign a bunch of different agreements and stuff. You don't even know what you're signing. You're just like, all right, well, I'm here at boot camp. I need to sign this stuff. I think the first day you got there, you had to call somebody. I called my mom. It was like 2 in the fucking morning or some bullshit and there. So it must have been, I don't know if it's a time difference or not, but from there to Florida, but I had to call her, collect and stuff, and you got to tell people you're okay, that you're not kidnapped or killed or some stupid bullshit like that. And yeah, man, dude, I just remember like it. I was in such a horrible place, like mentally, bro. Just like, man, I don't want to be here. I should have went to college. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're handing over all your clothes, your cell phone, you know, your BlackBerry. Back in the day, we had razors and shit like that. You know, and you know, you're handing all of this shit over, and they just give you a pair of blue sweats and a blue hoodie, and that's what you're going to wear, and a pair of sneakers, like Skechers or some bullshit. And that's what you're gonna wear for like the next week, man. And dude, that bro, that shit got it was a little rough.
That shit was depressing, man. That shit was depressing. I remember on the bus ride there, they played us like this introduction to fucking boot camp video where it was like everybody was in PT gear, and then it was like you had your normal uniform on. They were smiling and happy and shit. And like the instructors looked nice, and like one of the instructors that was on the boat, not on the boat, on the bus, was just like calm. Like, hey, everybody, you don't go to sleep. Just kind of, he's like just go to sleep, get some rest, whatever. Like just kind of relax, whatever. And I'm like, oh shit, man, like boot camp ain't bad so far, man. Then that's when hell broke loose. As soon as you pull up, get the fuck off the bus, you stupid motherfuckers, you goddamn dumb. I was like, goddamn, what the fuck, man? So like, we scrambling to get in line, and we standing there, and it's like, yeah, you made the wrong fucking choice getting off that goddamn bus. We own your ass now. I'm like, god damn, man. Like, all right, cool. But then I remember, like I was so disappointed because I had an image of how the military was supposed to look, man. And I seen some average Joe looking motherfuckers, man. Like, fucking chiefs. Chiefs were anywhere from like, E7 above, higher, like one of the higher enlisted, E7 and E9. And I seen one of them like fat as fuck, man, like pop belly fat. And I was like, what the fuck? And then like the people that was getting off the bus, like from all different walks of the world, and they were scrawny, like thick. I'm like, man, what in the hell did I like? What the fuck, man? And then I think like the first sign of awkwardness was when you said, you was giving away your clothes and everything like that. Because I remember we had like a linen bag. You had to walk through each line like a conveyor belt. And it was like, what size? Large. Bam. They throw something, like they throw whatever item of clothing in there, which was the Smurfs. That's what we called them, the
Smurfs, yeah.
Smurfs. The fucking, that blue ass sweatsuit that you wore for the first fucking week. And then like you had to strip down naked, put them clothes on, throw everything in a box to ship off back home because you didn't fucking need it no more. And then I remember that fucking first phone call home because I remember I called my parents. And I was like, hey, I'm okay. They're like, oh my God, you made it. And I was like, I can't talk. How's everything? I can't talk. I just want to let y'all know I made it. And they just hung up. And then I remember sitting there like, what the fuck did I get myself into, man? And then like the best, and then I had like one story when we was getting fitted for our shoes and everything. Man, they had this dude sitting in front of me, just scared, man, like scared out of his fucking mind. He was in there shaking like a fucking puppy, man, shaking.
Yeah.
And then this petty officer comes up to him and starts sniffing his ass, man, like sniffing the fuck out of him, like all around him, up and down and everything. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And he whispers in his ear like, I smell your fear. And the fucking dude just passed the fuck out. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. I think at that moment I was like, I don't really think this is boot camp, man. Like, what the fuck is this? Oh man.
I tell you what, man. Like going back to the phone call. So yeah, it was like literally like a 20-second phone call you could have. Like hey, Ma. Like I called my mom and my dad. Well, I called my mom, and they were both on the phone. I called my mom, like, hey, I'm okay. And she wanted to hear this whole story and stuff. I'm like, no, I can't say anything other than I'm okay, I'm here at boot camp, basically.
Right.
And basically like, hey, yeah, I didn't get kidnapped. I'm actually here, you know.
Right.
So yeah, um, you know, you do that, and then yeah, then you have to deal with the fucking RDCs, you know, the drill instructors. That first week when you're in your Smurfs, and dude, they just really drill into you that you are nothing in this world. You're nothing. You're not even a piece of shit yet. You have not advanced to a piece of shit. You
Yeah.
are nothing. You know, and that's when you really get a reality check. Like, fuck, this is a grown man's game kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you know, it's pretty aggressive. You know, when you come to all walks of life. Like some people are more ready for it than others. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, for me, you know, I was kind of ready, but it was interesting, dude. Like, you know, you go through your P days, your Smurfs, you know, and basically they're checking your vitals and stuff. You get your eyes done. You get a bunch of shots, cut stuff like that, and then once you finally get your uniforms, you know, for us, for me, it was probably for you too, since you were like '08. You know, you had um, your prison suit. It was like a blue, a light blue top. You had your dark blue. God, what the fuck were they? I don't know. They're not jeans. They're just
They're like Dickies.
yeah. They're like Dickies, you know. You wore those, and you had a recruit ball cap, and yeah, man, you had to go through that shit, and you know, recruit training kind of sucked, but you know, it was a learning process, bro. Like, there's a lot of schooling. Like you would find yourself into like these classrooms with computers and stuff, and they would teach you about some stupid shit like Navy history, which isn't stupid, but you know, like it doesn't pertain to what you do and later in your career. Like you
Yeah.
don't remember that shit, you know. And you'd learn stuff like that. You know, you'd go through cool things like, you know, like firefighter training, marksman training. You know, you get your shit. You shoot these guns that shoot lasers. They don't even trust you with bullets back in boot camp. You know, you shoot lasers.
Yeah.
And you know, the tear gas simulation was really fun in retrospect. At the time, it wasn't fun. You know, you're in this room with like what 20 or 30 other people with two RDCs. Uh, it's basically just a closed off room with like fans in every corner. And basically the RDCs are like, all right, listen, so we're gonna drop these fucking tear gas pellets in these fans, and when we tell you to, you're gonna take off your mask, you're gonna reset your name and your social security number one at a time. So when you get in front of me is the time you do it, but you're all gonna take your mask off at the same time.
Yeah.
So, you know, shit for the guys that had their alphabetical name like way in the fucking W's to Z's because they would be
Hey.
suffocating by that time, you know.
Right.
Luckily, I was in the G's. So, you know, they drop the pellets. They're like, all right, you guys are going to stand here for a minute. Make sure you inhale deeply. And you fucking inhale, and all this fucking nasty shit's getting in your lungs and stuff. And you're like, this sucks. I got to cough. So you're coughing like a motherfucker. And, you know, you go up, you get called to the recruit training, or sorry, to the RDC, and they're like, reset your name and your social security number, and you get there. And for me personally, I got to my name, and I couldn't even get to my social. I was just like, Evan, you know, start dying, boogers and shit are coming out and everything. Oh man, it was crazy time, man. I'll tell you that.
Man, that gas chamber brought back so many painful memories, man. I remember, like, there was a couple times in boot camp where I really questioned, like, why the fuck am I here type deal. Because I know your experience too. Like, I felt like all we did was fucking fold clothes, march, uh, and fucking fold clothes, march, and IT. Well, y'all know what IT means. It's
Yeah,
intensive training. That and like we did that shit all the fucking time. So man, it was just I don't know, it was just a lot of like, like you said, the school and the training and everything, and that damn gas chamber fucking sucked. Cause I was in the J's, so I didn't get a chance to say my fucking name. Cause soon as I pulled that bitch off, like I was about to fucking die, man.
Yeah.
I was about to fucking die, man. Oh, like, yeah, man. There's so many fucking boot camp stories we could touch on, man.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, man. How about we get into that the next episode after boot camp? We could talk about yeoman school because we were both yeoman. We're both submarine guys. We're both yeoman. I think it would be a good place to get into for the next episode would be yeoman school in Meridian, Mississippi.
Yeah.
And we could tell about our stories there because I know that's kind of the next step for both of us.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, all right, man. I'll see you in the next episode, brother.
See you, man.
All right.